Hi everyone! Okay, so if the gyms are shut and if we're not able to move as much as we normally do, what are we going to do? What are some simple workout things we can do at home with no equipment other than a normal chair? We've got a waiting room chair, but you could use a kitchen chair just as easily, and a desk or a wall or a table. All right, so we're going to show you probably our most favourite ones that probably most people should be able to do most days. But definitely 3 days a week, and you just do more repetitions for it. So the first one, we're going to do sit to stand squats, and rather than a wheelie stool, we're going to use a real one. And so for Stacey here, she's just going to squat down, sticking her bottom outwards, barely touch, and then push back up again. And squat and stand up. If she was fitter and stronger, she could do it one-legged.
Now she's testing.
Or she could do it with one leg out in front a bit. Woo! Stace! If she were less fit and strong, she could use the handles there, the armrest for a little bit more support. But the idea would be to try and manage to do it without. Once you're managing from a kitchen chair, you can then move to the couch or a lounge chair, which is a bit lower and a bit softer and a bit trixier. All right, our next one is calf raises. So again, we can hold on to the back of the chair or the side of the chair for some balance support, or a table, or the wall. Stacey's going to stand evenly on both feet. She's going to push through her big toes and come up with her knees straight, and then come slowly back down again. Pushing up through the big toes, straight up, not flicking out through the ankles, and back down again. She could also do this one one-legged to make it a bit heavier. Or she could make it a bit trickier by having a little bit less balance support, so she has to balance a little bit more at the same time. The same exercise we can use multiple different ways to achieve different aims if we need to. The last exercise that we wanted to share today was the wall or the desk push-up. So again, we can actually use this chair. We could use the armrest of the chair or the back of it because it's a pretty stable one. See what you've got, and it's just a push-up. So from here, she's just going to bend her elbows, bring her chest down towards the chair and back up again. Now, maybe it's not quite stable enough. Maybe we'll be better off utilising...
Put it against the wall.
We can put it against the wall. Look at us, making it safer and more appropriate as we go. She can bias this a little bit, one side or the other, by just moving herself slightly towards her right side, which means it's much heavier on her right arm and lighter on her left one, if she needs to. If she had any problem with her shoulders though, she'd probably keep it fairly square. If we're doing against the wall, the arms can actually become one up and one down, which makes it quite different across the pectorals and across the shoulder muscles in general, as well as changing what's happening through her abdominal muscles. Those obliques are having to work asymmetrically, which makes it a little bit of a core workout as well as being a shoulder workout without being too heavy on the shoulders. So it's a great option for women who don't generally have the stronger shoulders like men tend to do. Another way we can make this exercise a little bit more dynamic and get a bit more core exercise in is to do it on one leg. And the awesome thing with this is it doesn't make it any heavier or harder for her arms, but it does mean that her trunk muscles, particularly her obliques, have to work harder. But even these muscles through here have to work a bit differently. Her glutes have to work quite enormously differently to keep her fairly square and straight as she does it. So we have got a large number of possible permutations by changing which leg you're doing, which way your arms are going, whether they're up and down or closer or wider.
If you're on the wall, or if you're on the chair, or if you're on the desk. So different heights as well, at different lows.
We can really mix it up, and so that's one of my favourite exercises to do at any time.
Absolutely.
Like it's ab rehab, it's shoulder rehab, it's glutes.
10 to 12 of them, a couple of times over.
Yeah, and probably all of them. Ideally, that 3 sets of 10 to 12, 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions is ideal at a level that is a little tricky for you, a bit difficult, that you can manage, but is a bit of an effort rather than just being easy peasy. Have a play with those. Pop your comments down below though. If you've got any queries, we can still answer them and give you some more ideas.